years of grace. So here we are, 1994, marked the end of grace, and you're in the last 10 years of your power. Now you're looking at Europe, a boiling cauldron. Oh, America is going to break out into war over there. But this time the international bankers are not going to prosper. Because when Master Farad Muhammad was 6 years old, he came into the knowledge of what his mission was. As Yaqub at the age of 6 came into the knowledge of his mission, Master Farad saw himself pushing the Rockefellers, the DuPonts, the J.P. Morgans, the Warburgs, the Schiffs, the Vanderlips. He saw himself pushing them into a lake of fire. This is the end of your world, Satan. We locked in this struggle. I know you think you're gonna win, but Satan, your stuff is finished. Your game is over. Now, between here and 2004, this is the end of your time. America can survive, or America will die like Egypt, Babylon, Rome, Sodom and Gomorrah, and all the other wicked kingdoms of the past. You can take it or let it alone. You don't have no redemption power left. You wicked and adulterous generation that seeketh after a sign. There's no sign for you but the sign of Jonah. As Jonah was in the belly of the whale 3 days and 3 nights, so shall the Son of Man be in the heart of the earth. And now we have come to you like Jonah went to Nineveh. And unless you put on sackcloth and ashes and repent of your evil, America, you are finished. Finished as a power in the world. Finished as a great nation. And it will be your own leaders who led you down the path of hell and destruction. And this is why I'm calling for a march on Washington. A march on Washington. Because, black man, you are the new Jonah who've been in the belly of this whale for over 300 years. Now, if you stand up and repent for not taking your responsibility as a man and a servant of God, if you will atone for your evils of putting your woman out to fight for you while you did nothing, you, black man, have been a disgrace. But God is calling on you to turn around and take your responsibility. But you gotta repent, and you gotta clean up. And going to Washington is like Jonah going to Nineveh. We're gonna call on America in a day of atonement, a real day of atonement, to atone for your evils to the Native Americans. Atone for your evils to our fathers and mothers. Atone for your evils to the poor. Atone for the wickedness of your misguided leadership. And repent. And if you, my people, who are called by my name, will turn from your wicked ways, humble yourself, and pray, then, not before, then will I hear from heaven and heal your land. I am from Elijah Muhammad. I grace to you, America. And I'm grace to you, black man and woman. God will give you grace if you hearken to the voice of one who is grace in your midst. God will give you grace, America, if you recognize that I'm telling the truth, which you already know. And if you recognize that you can't solve your problems, but God can solve your problems if you let him. But if you try to kill grace, I ain't talking about daddy grace. I've never claimed nothing for myself, and I don't have to. My work speaks for me. But I am grace to you. But if you try to harm me, if you do like that dragon in Revelations who stood before the woman and spewed out of its mouth a flood to carry the woman away in the flood, because she feared, the dragon feared that a new boy was coming up that would rule the nations with a rod of iron. You can't stop this. But if you act wise toward it, God will have mercy on you. And like he gave Nineveh 200 years of extended time, maybe you can get the same. But I kind of think you're going a little crazy. I kind of think you're going to do everything you can to kill me this year. I kind of think you really lost it. I'm going to be here. If God pleases, you do what you think you have to do. But I'm warning you, when you see your cities tumbling down on you, when you see death everywhere, you remember what I told you. You brought it on yourself. The righteous seek refuge in God. There is no place for you to hide, nor them, except in God. Take away to God. Find his bosom and stay there. I believe I have found his bosom. And so, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I don't fear any evil, because I know that God is with me. And so as I leave you, on behalf of Kubila Shabazz, and on behalf of the Shabazz family, I'm asking all of us to stand up for Kubila. Not stand up on. I'm asking all of us to recognize what the FBI has done. They manipulated the daughter of Malcolm X. They manipulated the murder of the father. Yes, sir. And now they want to manipulate the daughter to go to prison for supposedly paying somebody $250 as a down payment to kill me. The government has agreed, from what I understand, to drop the charges if Kubila will permit herself to be sent to a mental institution for 45 days, and then after she comes out, another 45 days, they have something else for her to do. She must sign a paper saying that she will not ever use the word entrapment, that she was entrapped, and she must apologize to the government of the United States. Now, brothers and sisters, that's as low down as you can get. The U.S. attorney who's handling that is U.S. Attorney David Lillehaug, Lillehaug. I hope that address is coming up on the screen. Mr. Lillehaug. I hope, Mr. Lillehaug, I'm saying your name right. But everyone who is here and everyone who is listening, take this address down. David Lillehaug. What is the address? Is it on the screen? What is it? Why don't you bring it to me since everybody else got it? Mr. David Lillehaug, U.S. Attorney, District of Minnesota, 243 U.S. Courthouse, 110 South 4th Street, Minneapolis, Minnesota, 55401. Now, don't get discouraged. That's a lot of writing. But if you don't want to write a letter, just get a postcard. And all you got to say is, set Kubila Shabazz free with no strings attached. Or anything else you might want to write. I mean, no, nothing like that. Then you ought to write a letter to the Attorney General, Janet Reno. Janet Reno, Attorney General, U.S. Department of Justice, 10th and Constitution Ave Northwest, Washington, D.C., 20530. Every one of you should have been given this when you came in. But now I want you to promise me. I know we don't write, but I want you to write this time. We want to amass public opinion to make the world see that something is wrong with the justice system. You know, this man, Fitzpatrick or Summers, was a member of the JDL, which is akin to the ADL. And he is on the payroll of the FBI. See how they all hang out together? I think that all black organizations should make up their minds that we will not talk to the ADL. We will have nothing to do with that gangster group that has spied on Martin Luther King Jr., spied on his father, spied on black people, turned over our files to the governments in South Africa, worked with the FBI to destroy black leadership, while at the same time they put on a face that they're fighting against anti-Semitism. Well, let's leave them alone, in the sense that none of us as black leaders, none of us as black organizations should take a dime from them. And if you really are representing your people, your own people will support you. How many of you will write that letter? Is that a promise? Is your word bond?